Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Monday Night Raw results and Superstar spoilers. Well, happy birthday. What it would have been going to Classy Freddie Blassie, born on February 8th, 1918. He died June the 2nd, 2003, of kidney failure at the age of 85. Jimmy Annabelle Neidhart turned 61 years old. The late Sherry Martell, real name of Sherry Scroll, was born on February 8, 1958. She died June 15, 2007, of a prescription drug overdose at the age of 49. Big Show, a.k.a. Paul White, turned 44 years old on Monday. Independent wrestler Corey Hollis turned 26. The late Hans Schmidt, a.k.a. real name of Guy LaRossi, was born on February 7, 1925. He died on May 26, 2012, at the age of 87. Connor of the Ascension, a.k.a. Ryan Parmeter, turned 36 on Saturday, and the advertised dark main event for Raw was Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens and Rusev. And obviously, due to Daniel Bryan's retirement speech, that didn't happen, as Raw went off the air at 10:26 p.m. And my DVR only recorded 15 to 20 minutes over that, so it stopped. CM Punk will fight Mickey Gall in his first MMA fight. The event is expected to take place at the UFC 199 event in June. WWE has released a behind-the-scenes video at this link here for Lana and Charlotte's Super Bowl 50 photo shoot. Of course, some people want to see it. And just check out the video. Former WWE wrestler Kevin Thorn has a bone to pick with his former employer over the WWE Network. In recent appearances on the Two-Man Power Trip podcast, he explained that he feels WWE owes wrestlers royalties for their subscription services. I don't want to watch the network. I don't have the network. I just wish the network would pay me some royalties. Thorne said, I go to the mail every quarter and I get a small check and I say, well, that's all great. But Vince is making billions of dollars off the network, and for some reason, my royalty check doesn't reflect that. I keep waiting for it to say, this is what you are getting for the network, and the network doesn't show up there. I often wonder how you are charging for it, but I am not getting a cent for it. It is what it is, maybe one day, and now they are just trying to figure out how to pay everyone. They are good about that, and they may figure out a way, I guess. They are not paying me, but maybe they are paying other people. From what I've heard, people haven't seen a check for it because, to be honest, when we signed our contracts, it was DVD sales and VHS sales and pay-per-view buys. Now with the digital downloads, I just don't know. It is what it is. Thorne eventually says that WWE needs to figure out how to pay royalties to the talent featured on the WWE network. I can only assume guys are wondering where it is that the network is coming to be lucrative for everyone, and it doesn't have to be millions of dollars. Money here and there is for sure definitely worth it, especially it from what I understand, since I don't own the network. You can punch in my name and bring up anything I've ever done. Now, granted, they paid me well when I was there, but that's the point of royalties. Mr. T still gets paid off of the A-Team. Hannibal is still getting his cheddar, and so is Murdoch. Something needs to be held accounted for or said for that. Highspots Wrestling Network is charging the same price as WWE Network for their services, $9.99, and is now has an official Roku channel. The service is again priced at $9.99 a month and currently features over 350 complete shows from promotions like Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, Women's Superstars Uncensored, Queens of Combat, Pro Wrestling Experience, Northeast Wrestling, WrestleCon, Pro Wrestling South, Superstars of Wrestling, and Combat Zone Wrestling. You can also get Highspots original content such as The Kevin Steen Show, now known as Kevin Owens. Best Friends hitting the high spots, Waking Up with Cliff Compton, Shoot Interviews with, and $5 Wrestling. And go to Highspots Wrestling Network for more, network.com for more info on that. Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Angel, has now signed an exclusive deal with Ring of Honor. Daniels joins other stars such as Jay Lethal and the Young Bucks, who recently signed exclusive deals to the promotion. The new contract prohibits Daniels to work indie shows in the United States and Toronto area, but also allows him to work shows in the United Kingdom, Mexico, Japan, and Europe. Daniels' tag team partner, on the other hand, Kazarian, has yet to sign such a deal as of this point. New exclusive deals follow pushes by both TNA and WWE to sign more talent as of late. Also, Eva Marie has even launched her own YouTube channel, and you can go to this link here for you to see that. And it's posted the first couple of videos, and you can see at the link. As noted, Awesome Kong was reportedly involved in a backstage altercation with TNA World Champion Matt Hardy's wife, Rebby Sky, during the recent TNA UK tour. And as a result of the incident, TNA did their investigations and issued the following statement on their official website, ImpactWrestling.com, announcing her release from the promotion. You're fired. Impact Wrestling releases Awesome Kong. Following a physical altercation in the locker room last week during the Impact Wrestling's UK tour, TNA announces today the release of Awesome Kong, real name Kia Stevens. We conducted an investigation and determined releasing Awesome Kong is the appropriate action in this case, said TNA Executive Vice President of Talent Relations and TV, John Gebrick. Kong has been a great contributor to TNA and helped solidify the Knockouts as the best female division in pro wrestling. We thank her and wish her well. Well, my thing is two makes a fight. So don't get rid of one, get rid of both. Former WWE superstar and current Lucha Underground star Chavo Guerrero recently spoke with WrestlingInc.com to promote the second season of Lucha Underground on the El Rey Network, as well as some other personal career projects he is working on. And here are the highlights from the interview. On his run with TNA, you come in and you want to be a part and change things. I thought that the roster was really good. AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Kazarian, Sting, Austin Aries, Bobby Roode, Samoa Joe. These guys were so good. I thought we could compete with anybody. You quickly realize it's just not meant to do that. The way it's structured is never going to be that competition. It's going to be what it is, and more power to them. You quickly get a little disappointed and disgruntled. When I was still in WWE and Booker T was there in TNA, kind of explained that to me, too. You want to change the wrestling world? I think we are here in LU. I think we are here in LU, Lucha Underground. On what led him to leaving TNA, it was kind of mutual. I think I outpriced myself. They couldn't afford me. They had to keep other people on payroll. I think they didn't have anything for me creatively. When I first came in, straight from the boss's mouth, we're going into the Latino demographic. Our viewership is that demographic. In that demographic is already up 3%. They just got away from it. I'm thinking that's not really smart when that's 25% of the population and you're moving away from it. Whatever you see in wrestling, it's not the wrestlers, it's the writers. They're the ones coming in and being creative. Unless you're John Cena and you have some big say, you're at their mercy. You make do with what they give you. I've seen The Undertaker go in and lobby for something and have to fight. So if you've got him, The Undertaker, having to fight for things that he believes in, sometimes he lost. You sometimes have better writers than other writers. I feel that maybe the writers in TNA are in the same boat as us. Like, we're not going to change the world, but we have to keep our jobs. On his thoughts on TNA using the Feast or Fire storyline to explain his departure, on TNA working their own talent, it's a super bad taste. Now you have your own wrestler. Now you have your other wrestlers see this, and they're going to want to work for you based on how you treat them. You don't want to treat anybody like that. On what he thinks it will take for TNA to survive. I like Dixie very much as a person for sure. As a boss, I don't know how much she has hands on in that. There's a lot of people involved that I don't know if she has complete say. It's not like Vince McMahon where he goes in and says, this is what's going to happen. At least it was like that when I was there. If he did say that, and someone made it happen, whoever made it happen was gone. I saw that. It's very confusing. As far as a person, I like her. She's very nice. I got a Christmas card from her this year. I wish nothing but good things for TNA. It's better for the wrestling world. It's better for the fans, the wrestlers, all around. I go back to the Monday Night Wars, and you had two big companies battling it out. Wrestling was never better because the competition, everybody won. Promoters made money. Wrestlers made money. Fans got great shows. I want TNA to succeed. It just baffles me sometimes. Like, do you guys want to make money? On if TNA would have benefited if Jeff Jarrett and Toby Keith bought it as they were rumored to do. You could say anything. Who knows? It just baffles me. If I was in charge, I'd have done things way different. And maybe it wouldn't have succeeded either. But just that roster, how could you not compete? Just let these guys go? Then these wrestlers need incredible storylines, but they have great matches. On what has been his favorite run so far in his wrestling career. Definitely right now. Not saying that because that's where I'm at. I have more fun doing this right now. Right before I was in TNA, I did the Ring of King in India. HF Jarrett TNA production. It was fun. It made me like wrestling again. It was a great crew, and everyone wanted to work harder. This reminds me of that even more. It's so good. We try to make the locker room and the fans are awesome. We call the fans the believers. They believe in this product. That's just awesome. I've been having so much fun working on it. It's not work if it's fun, they say, but we work our butts off. I'm there sometimes for 12 straight hours, and there are sometimes I'm in a control room with headsets on dressed for my match. As I'm calling the match, talking to the director, I'm stretching for the match. I take the headset off, run and do my match, and then run back to the production office, all sweaty and add again. It's work, but it's fun. I love doing that. I'm proud of the product we put out there. There's nothing like this. Watch their shows and watch theirs. And tell us which one you like better. That's how confident we are in our product. We don't just sit there and talk for 20 minutes before we have a match. We have an hour to kick butt and go. WWE has hired a new 27-year-old TV host and announcer. Her name is Cathy Kelly. I don't know if I posted it last week, but there you go for you. And then there's also a video link as well here for you. Kelly has technically worked on a pro wrestling capacity in the past, as during her 4 years with AfterBuzz TV, she appeared on some of their WWE discussion shows. Additionally, she has worked for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood as an interviewer in the past. And again, go to the photo. There is speculation online that Rey Mysterio may be returning to WWE, at least on a part-time basis, on a podcast, former WCW star Conan said that Mysterio is considering going back to WWE if he can get a reduced schedule. Following Conan's statement, Dave Meltzer explained on Wrestling Observer Radio this weekend that AAA and Lucha Underground were banking on Alberto Del Rio and Rey Mysterio to be their big stars, with Del Rio returning to WWE and Mysterio considering following suit. Meltzer feels this is a very telling about the status of the companies. Pro Wrestling Sheet reports that Mysterio is currently in a dispute with AAA over money and what he perceives as shady business practices. Mysterio hasn't appeared for AAA since 2015 despite being under contract. Adding to the speculation, Mysterio's name has been mentioned on WWE programming several times in recent months, as WWE.com did a feature on him, and JBL even gave him a shout out during the Royal Rumble. Back in August, Mysterio explained his willingness to return in an interview with Sports Illustrated. I didn't leave on bad terms, as he said. I left on good terms with WWE, so I don't want to say never, Mysterio said. In the comments again, they treated me very well, and I'm nothing but thankful with the company for letting Rey Mysterio to be Rey Mysterio and be recognized worldwide. If the opportunity comes about in the future, and there is interest from both parties, then why not? With WWE's injury-plagued roster leading into the biggest pay-per-view of the year, should WWE enlist Mysterio to help with their desire for WrestleMania 32 star power? Sound off with your thoughts in my comments in the videos. No dark match was advertised. Actually, no March happened before the Superstars spoilers. And Superstar spoilers, Ascension defeated Damien Sandow and Fandango. What's this, a new tag team? So what are they going to be? What are you doing? Damien Sandow going to be Damien Sandango? Zack Ryder defeated Stardust. Woo, woo, woo. You know it. And Raw takes place from Seattle, Washington, the home state of Daniel Bryan, who makes his return in your main event. From the Key Arena, Raw opened off with a video package recapping the incredible career of Daniel Bryan. Lots of old footage mixed with clips from the Yes movement, along with the No movement. WrestleMania 30, they showed Bryan's tweet announcing his retirement. Pyro kicked off to the live show. Coleslaw says, it's going to be an emotional night. Lillian Garcia then introduces Stephanie McMahon, who is in the ring with a table. Well, they're having the contract signing for the main event for Fastlane. The crowd broke into a loud Daniel Bryan chant, but Stephanie shut them down. Dean Ambrose music hits and it interrupts Stephanie. Thank God. Ambrose calls out Lesnar, but Stephanie says she's running the show, not him. Reigns comes out and says he's ready to sign the contract, but again, Stephanie says she's calling the shots here. Brock Lesnar's music hits, and out he comes with Paul Heyman. Hot crowd for Lesnar. Paul Heyman began introducing his client, but Stephanie cut him off and told them to start signing. All three men signed the contract, and Stephanie exited the ring, leaving Reigns and Ambrose in there with Lesnar and Heyman. Heyman told the babyfaces that they're basically screwed because they have to face Brock Lesnar. The crowd chants Suplex City. Ambrose went after Lesnar, but only to go face to face with him, standing eye to eye. But the Beast destroyed him and Reigns within seconds, throwing Ambrose at Reigns over the table, hitting Reigns with the table after that, and then delivering an F5 to Ambrose. Well, on that moment, Brock Lesnar's trying to leave the ring. Triple H music hits. He stands with Stephanie looking at his three potential WrestleMania main event challengers. Triple H and Lesnar had a direct stare down while Reigns tended to a hurting Dean Ambrose in the ring. Then the hype Daniel Bryan's retirement announcement. Footage shown from Daniel Bryan's NXT debut back in 2010 when he faced Chris Jericho in his debut match. Backstage, Dean Ambrose vowed to Roman Reigns that he will get Brock Lesnar tonight. And he wants him alone. He said he can take him. Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens was up next, as Dolph Ziggler defeated Kevin Owens by putting his feet on the ropes to get the leverage pin. After Owens missed the corner cannonball move, Owens flipped out after the match, destroying an announcer table and throwing ring steps. And the still to come segment. Later tonight, Tag Team Champions The New Day versus Usos in a table match. Plus, Chris Jericho will be a guest on Miz TV. Backstage, the Dudley Boys approach the Usos in the locker room. Devon says it's the Dudleys who deserve a tables match against the New Day, not them. Bubba Ray said it should be the Dudleys and the Usos versus New Day. One of the Usos said they're cool with it if they can get it approved. Video package aired for Ryback. Yeah, he's in new gear, Goldberg style. And they advertised that he'll face Bray Wyatt later on Raw. Divas Champion Charlotte defeated Alicia Fox with a figure 8 submission. Alicia got in some good offense, but Charlotte turned things around with a spear. Ric Flair was at ringside. Nothing more than that. Miz was in the ring for Miz TV. He starts running down AJ Styles, calling him a redneck rookie. Before Chris Jericho's music hits, Jericho says Seattle doesn't want to see Miz TV. They want to see a highlight reel hosted by Y2J instead. The crowd was way into it, and the WWE crew quickly changed the set over to the highlight reel, including the drop-down TV screen for the highlight reel, including the insanely, like I said, inexpensive Geritron 5000. Miz is not very happy. Jericho starts interviewing the Miz as the host of the show. Jericho plays footage from SmackDown when AJ Styles knocked Miz's tooth out. Miz said 2 of his veneers were knocked out of his mouth, costing him $10,000 each. Miz rubs it in Jericho's face, and that AJ Styles defeated him in his Raw debut match. Jericho says AJ Styles is good, but we don't know if he's great or if he can beat him again. Well, he challenged him. Well, that match is on SmackDown. So that's going to be on SmackDown. AJ Styles' music hits, and he was making his entrance. Miz then attacked Jericho from behind. AJ came into the ring on Miz. Styles and Jericho went face to face, and both men threw Miz out of the ring. They had a stare down and eventually came to blows. Good confrontation to hype their match on SmackDown. Another Daniel Bryan retrospective video aired, looking back at the Money in the Bank 2011 when he captured the briefcase. 5 months later, he cashed in on Big Show to become the World Heavyweight Champion. Bray Wyatt defeated Ryback after hitting Sister Abigail after the match. The Wyatt family beat down Ryback. Now, I guess I was taking a siesta or whatever it was because I think, Raw was actually boring, so I was going on the internet and doing some other things. Each taking turns dismantling the big guy. They took turns throwing him back into the ring steps before Bray delivered another Sister Abigail before leaving the ring. A video package aired looking back at Team Hell No. Backstage, New Day are polishing a table when Renee Young asks them who their 4th partner will be tonight. Of course, they haven't decided yet. Backstage segment, Roman Reigns walks up to Dean Ambrose, who wants a piece of Brock Lesnar tonight. Reigns says he wants Lesnar too, but Ambrose tells him he doesn't need help. Like I said earlier, he wants him alone. Reigns says okay, but he still got his back. Believe that. Adam Rose defeated Titus O'Neil by roll-up. Social Outcast cut a promo on Titus before the match and interfered a lot in the match. But Titus was taking them all out. Backstage segment, Dean Ambrose looking for Brock Lesnar. Daniel Bryan video showed from SummerSlam 2013 when Bryan defeated John Cena for the WWE Championship clean in the center of the ring. 2-time champion. Video package aired celebrating Black History Month. Dean Ambrose hits the ring and calls out Lesnar. Ambrose started questioning Lesnar's manhood, and eventually Lesnar did come out with Paul Heyman. Ambrose charged at Lesnar, but Lesnar threw him down. Ambrose went at him again, but Lesnar began the systematic destruction of Ambrose, tossing him around like a rag doll. Lesnar threw him into the ring and plowed through him again several times. Ambrose kept trying to fight back, but Lesnar delivered another F5 and then left the ring. Ambrose called for Lesnar to come back the Rock style. Lesnar did so and did get back in the ring, but Roman Reigns' music hit while Lesnar was focused on Reigns. Ambrose gave Lesnar a little low blow and dropped him to his knees. Ambrose left the Soul to beat down. Next up, we got Alberto Del Rio and Rusev defeating the Lucha Dragons when Del Rio pinned Kalisto after a top rope stomp on his chest. I didn't see much of Sankara in the match itself because they probably just kept him back and wanted him to come back because he came back from that shoulder injury. They got shoved into the steps a few weeks back. Footage was then shown from earlier in the day of R-Truth bumping into Goldust, who was dressed like Jimi Hendrix outside of a business, which he was playing a guitar, not much of it. Well, Goldust was taken away by a cop, and Goldust was just looking at him. Another Daniel Bryan moment was shown, this one being the Occupy Raw movement at the end of 2014. Tamina defeated Becky Lynch by pinfall with her partner at ringside, and they were both had some involvement in the match, so Becky lost. Backstage, New Day presented Mark Henry with a unicorn horn. He'll be their partner tonight for their tables match against the Usos and Dudleys, which Mark Henry was even handed the trombone, and he played a decent trombone, but nothing more than that. New Day wasn't very happy about it because he did have some talent. Usos and the Dudleys defeated the New Day and Mark Henry after Big E took a 3D to a table. And yes, this was a tables match. Mark Henry walked out on the New Day after they got into a disagreement, which I didn't see that myself. What have you? Fun match with lots of good spots as New Day bumping around. After the match, Dudley turned heel on the Usos. Jimmy got delivered a 3D. Got a 3D through a table, while Jay got a top rope powerbomb through another table. Another video package aired. I did see the 3Ds on the table and the powerbomb, top rope powerbomb through the table. But the normal powerbomb that Bubba Ray does, he goes through the table himself. Well, he didn't go through the table himself. He jumped regular and just dropped him off with a powerbomb. Another video package aired looking back at Daniel Bryan's WWE career. Lillian Garcia then introduces Daniel Bryan, who comes out to a tremendous ovation from the crowd. Loud yes chants and a thunderous Daniel Bryan chant. Another yes chant broke out as Bryan took it all in. He started to cry a couple of times. Bryan said he was able to feel the crowd's love because he closed his eyes and it all sank in. And it's something he will never forget, as he said. He jokes about cutting his hair and trimming his beard. Well, he did trim it some, but he still got the beard, but he doesn't have long hair. He says he donated his hair to a charity called Wigs for Kids. He said he's been wrestling since he was 18 and has gotten many concussions throughout his 16-year career. He did everything he could to get cleared, in which he did get his clearance, but they redid a test. But he announced it about a week and a half ago. He did one more test, and they took his clearance away from him. WWE doctors won't let him back in the ring. Thank you, Daniel Bryan chant began from the crowd. And again, he said that he took took the test, and they said his brain might not be as good as he thinks it is. He has a family now, being his wife. He and his wife are thinking about having kids now, real soon. So take it from me. That's your spoiler. That Bree will be leaving wrestling soon, and so will her sister, because her neck problems. The crowd chanted yes, and Brian said, "That's what Bree says all the time." The crowd started chanting, "That's what she said," and he was even laughing about it. Brian said it is with a heavy heart that he has to officially announce his retirement. He's gone through a range of emotions, but when he woke up today, all he felt was gratitude. Brian talks about things he loves, such being the Seattle Seahawks, the crowd reaction when his music hits, diving through the ropes. He wrestled in the parking lots of gas stations and in front of 70,000 people at WrestleMania. Kane, William Regal, Connor from Connor's Cure. He's grateful that everyone got behind him. Brian talked about the night that the fans hijacked Raw in the same arena that he's in the ceremony of champions with John Cena and Randy Orton. His father was at ringside that night, and that was the last time his dad got to see him wrestle. Because of wrestling, he got to meet the most wonderful woman in the world. He's grateful that he gets to have this moment with his family at ringside, his wife in the back, and everything else. Tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning, he starts a new life where he is no longer a wrestler, but that is tomorrow, and that's not tonight. He got the crowd to do one last yes chant as Bree came to the ring, and they celebrated kissing to end Raw at 10:26 p.m. And on the bottom of the TV screen, hashtag thank you, Daniel Bryan. Well, what happened after all? Thanks to a Reddit user, Durek Vince. Well, this actually happened during Daniel Bryan's speech. He was in attendance at Monday's Raw and revealed that the security had to remove a fan from his seat for interrupting Daniel Bryan's retirement speech. It's unknown if the fan was removed from the building or just somewhere where he couldn't be heard on camera. Here's the report from the arena. Some guy ended up getting thrown out and roughed up by security for trying to start a chant by singing the na 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 hey 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 goodbye, being disrespectful while Daniel Bryan was talking. As he wrote, it was during the moment the whole place was silent when he was going over his gratitude. The guy started screaming the tune at the top of his lungs. 3 security guys rushed him, and the guy and just pulled him out of our row, and he was out of there quick. You could tell by the look on his face that he didn't even know what was happening. If you didn't know, before WWE, Daniel Bryan faced off against Samoa Joe and CM Punk in the same match. Well, here's a link that you can go to for that. So he did have some dream matches. Also, the speech during Raw with roster after it went to 10:26 p.m. at this link. Also, after Raw went off the air, I'm showing you the pic as well. Daniel Bryan continued celebrating in the ring while the entire roster came out on the ramp and applauded him. As you can see, the roster, some of the roster, at least you can see by the pic. Bryan hopped out of the ring and high-fived all the fans at ringside. As he was walking to the back, Vince McMahon came out and gave Bryan a big hug for the WWE Universe, WWE Network cameras. Bryan then walked to the back to close out the show. And that ends my results for this week. Thanks again. Peace out. See you on the media. And by the way, if you don't know, just call me, bro. And if you have anything to say, comment on my videos. I can only improve by your comments. Or whatever you want in my videos, I'll try and post it.